Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are we getting on? Welcome to a brand new Fallout 76 camp. So, last week we had a car theme, and this week we have a bit of a train theme for our camp, which we're going to do a tour of rather than a build this time. Okay, so yeah, we're working with the new abandoned prison car train prefab here. It's on the right, you can just about see it next to the scarecrow there. And this one is a Fallout First reward that's on the current season. It's up at rank 95, but there is also a green version that pops up on the Atomic Shop at times that we're going to be having a look at as well. So you can sort of see where we are here on the map. That's right next to RNG Station, which is right next to it, at the end of the train line here. And it's a pretty cool spot for a train-themed build. It's a spot I've wanted to work with for a while. It's nice to finally get down here, but yeah, right at the bottom of the Savage Divide there. It's reasonably central to some of the busy areas of the map, so not a bad spot at all. Relatively popular too, though, so there is that. So, let's have a look at these train cars. As I say, this is really a decoration-heavy build rather than a build-heavy build, if that makes any sense. So, we'll tour it rather than do a building-type video, but the green train car you can see there is the one that pops up in the Atomic Shop occasionally, whereas obviously the orange one further back is the season reward. So I've worked the existing box cars into this particular camp, used them as sort of parts of the outer walls and that sort of thing. The inside's unfortunately not accessible, so we've got to do what we can, and I've added a few extra bits of junk wall and fences and stuff to just kind of make it a bit more difficult for creatures to crawl under and shoot under and stuff. Obviously it's not completely secure, but it does the general job, and it sort of closes in the gap between the various train cars. Gone for a reasonably small exterior space here. You could easily expand it out and use the other side too, but I kind of like the compact vibe on this one. There's enough space. Added a few extra bits and pieces just to dress up the outside of this green train car, as there's quite a bit of room on there. There's a few bits on the orange one we'll have a look at in a moment. But this green one, there's got quite a bit of space around the outside of it, and though on the surface of it, it would be quite easy to assume this is just a reskin of an existing piece. There's actually quite a lot of differences between the two when you actually look at them, which is pretty cool. However, yeah, if you don't happen to have Fallout First, and therefore can't get the prison car, which is this orange one we're moving towards now, you will be able to, when it pops back up anyway, pick up the green one from the Atomic Shop. So we've got a few extra bits of decoration out on here as well, and on the whole I didn't want to use this side of the train cars, so hence why it's all looking a bit more boarded up and stuff. But inside there's not a huge amount of room, and the ground is really not that even either, so our Collectron friend here had to go outside, and finding a spot where I could actually place this that wasn't going to float or be blocked and stuff was more challenging than one might expect, to be honest. You can see from the goop there that we had a bit of a mole rat incident not too long before I did this tour, but we managed. So I've got a few turrets up there, a few more junk fences out there just to barricade off the gaps. And for this doorway, obviously you can see that goes right the way through there, but I wanted it sort of secure from the outside, so I thought we'll improvise boarding that up, grab some of the Halloween window boards from a Halloween set back in 2001 actually. I'm sure it'll pop up again sooner or later though. Board up that entrance. For this one, we've got some chain link over there that I figure is kind of sort of clipped on, nailed on, riveted on, something like that. To get this one in place, it's technically floating. So I used a concrete barricade just next to it and put a half-sized piece of chain link on the top of that concrete barricade, then snapped this one to that piece on top of the barricade. And once I'd done that, I was able to remove the two pieces I didn't need, the barricade and the extra piece of chain link, and just leave this one floating. So it was quite easy to do in the end, and means that it actually lines up better with the height of the doorway, which is not such a bad thing. So let's head on inside. So we've sort of secured up this entrance to the green train car as our main entrance to the camp. We'll have a look inside in just a moment, but we'll take a look around the rest of the camp first. See, it's looking reasonably scrappy and ramshackle, which the rusted up train cars, the box cars back there, are bound to give that effect. Quite happy with how this has come out. Do wish we could get inside some of those pre-existing box cars, or we had more of them available to build with. Sort of like we used to have in Fallout 4, because you could do some cool stuff with that back in the day. Pity, but still, it's cool. Little crafting area here for cooking and hanging out in, that sort of stuff. Used the merge glitch to put two of those fire pits together, and I'll link in the top right corner to my video on that merge glitch if you want to see how to do that. But it's fairly simple, so quite pleased with how that came out. Looks cool. Got a few crops in here, and a little sort of improvised bathroom facility there. As you see, the ground is anything but even in here, which make putting a few bits and pieces in quite difficult without them floating and sort of issue, but I managed to work around it okay. Bit of an improvised back wall down this end to keep any critters out from that end, which is always a bonus. There's actually a raider hangs out down there quite a lot, which is not too bad now, but he was kind of yelling at me earlier, which was a bit annoying. So for this sort of entranceway to the prison car here, it's basically dead space, this, because this door is sealed, and it's the case with both of the train cars. One end's sealed and one end is open. And obviously with that backside closed off, I felt I wanted to do something with it. It seemed like a decent place to squeeze the vendors in, and I've got plenty of signs around, so hopefully people will be able to find it. But yeah, quite happy with how that came out. Tucked out of the way, making use of that space. A few extra bits and pieces around to dress up this internal area. I like that I've used a train track there as a kind of walkway. Kind of distracts from the fact that it's not being used for its intended purpose, I suppose. So, this entrance does work, and I've crammed in a whole bunch of essentials in here, and I'm quite pleased with how this has come out. We've got a stash box on the wall up top there. That's the safe from Most Wanted, the recent Nuka World on Tour event. And we've got an ammo box and a scrap box at the back there. All quick and easy to access, just so you can dump stuff off when you get back to the camp, which is nice. Head on inside the prison car here. Looking around, there's quite a lot of differences between the two train cars, and it's easy to assume this is just a reskin of the other one, which has been around for quite a while. But actually looking at it, the windows are different, all of the textures are really profoundly different. The shape of the windows, I mean, specifically is different. I think the inside area is the same size, but the entrances at either end are quite different as well. They've done quite a lot on this. It's quite cool. So obviously, use this as a crafting space, crammed a whole load of extra bits and pieces around just to sort of dress up the workbenches and stuff. I don't use this tall shelf very often, but I thought we'd merge a few extra items on there. Again, check out the tutorial if you want to see how. The top shelf here, though, is a different height to the other two in relation to each other, so the separation is a bit annoying to try and eyeball, which is unfortunate, and I ended up getting annoyed after the third or fourth attempt to line everything up, and just moved everything down onto the bottom two shelves and put the sign up over the top one, because it kind of worked. Yeah, everything's a bit neater for that. But yeah, plenty of little bits of decoration in here, a few extra things on the chemistry station there. Went kind of crazy on decorating the walls up, because as much as I love the textures of these sort of sheet metal boxcar vibe that's going on here, and it looks really cool, it needed a little extra dressing up to make it look busy and lived in and that sort of thing. Come out alright, I think. So we've got the kind of textured metal floor in here. I thought was better for a crafting space than, say, the other train car that we're going to have a look at in just a second, which has a wooden floor, so obviously we didn't want to set that on fire with the armour bench, so seemed like the way. Closing these doors is a little bit awkward, as, well, they're basically invisible inside the side of the train car there, but you can just about get a hold of them. It's not a whole lot easier with the HUD on, to be honest, but I do like them, they are quite cool. Let's make our way down here, have a little look in the other train car, which I have used as, well, kind of a living space, I suppose. I wasn't happy with the options for sort of a kitchen space in here. It didn't look the way I wanted it to, so that's why we've got our cooking station outside. But we'll make our way up these stairs and have a look in here. As I say, even if you can't get the orange one, you should, when it reappears anyway, at least be able to pick this one up. Do apologise for the mess. Again, we had the mole rat issue, and one of them spawned actually inside here, which was kind of a pain. It was a bit annoying, really. It apparently took objection to my animatronic cat there and decided to try and attack that. But yeah, as far as the living space goes, quite happy with this. Whole bunch of different bits and pieces on display. All the essentials in there. Somewhere to sit and eat and hang out and relax on the sofas and stuff, which we'll have another look at in a moment. Sleeping area down at the end here. As I said before, this door at this end doesn't actually open, so it's kind of a case of making sure you got the train car the right way around when you put it in, but gives it a nice sort of closed off end, and this is reasonably secure. A fairly simple little bedroom down here, plenty of bits and pieces on display and decoration items and stuff, the plushies and stuff. I'm quite happy with my collection of plushies growing ever larger there. Squeeze the bobblehead stand in. We've got a gun there just in case anybody does decide to bust the door down. Yeah, kinda like this place. Gotta have the coffee machine in. Looks like somebody's having fruit for their meal. A little bit of collection of some fairly clean bits and pieces on their display on the left there. Nice little bit of room to hang out, listen to the radio, maybe read a magazine. Do quite enjoy putting things like that diving suit on display, as they're wearable obviously, and technically it functions as armour, but it's not particularly good armour, unsurprisingly. It's very cool, but not the most viable outfit, so putting it on display I think is definitely the play there. I don't know, I feel like I kind of want to wear the armour now I'm thinking about it. But yeah, quite happy with how this turned out. Really, really easy to place most things. There was not a whole lot of fancy work done beyond a little bit of merging, which, as I say, do check out the tutorial if you're curious. The rest of the stuff just basically went in on easily enough, simple placement. And going fairly crazy on the decoration brought this place to life, I think, as it so often does. Yeah, quite happy with how this came out. Nice, scrappy, but quite a cool little vibe, making use of... well, not exactly some pre-existing stuff, but it kind of captures that vibe. So we have a little swing around this side before we wrap up. You can have a look at RNG Station here, which is very aptly named. And, yeah, really, really close by. Convenient to have a station so close, and very cool that you can build so close to it as well. So I hope you folks enjoyed that one. If you did, please do consider dropping subs and likes. I very much appreciate it. Hit that notification bell as well, and then you can catch all the uploads and the live streams, which I will hope you join us for. Now, of course, playing Fallout 76 and a little Red Dead 2 at the moment. So, yeah, looking forward to jumping back into both of those. Should be good times. And if you get a chance to check out down below, we've got social media links, merch store, channel memberships, all that good stuff. If you're interested in supporting the channel that way, that really, really helps out, and I hugely appreciate it. So, massive thank you to everybody who has done that already. But for now, thank you very much for watching. I look forward to speaking to you all very, very soon.